by Minnesota State student athletes Charlie Gerard and Max Cota, along with head coach Mike Hastings. And Coach Hastings, would you please make an opening statement?
Sure. First of all, I'd like to congratulate Nate and Providence on moving on into the final tomorrow. They deservedly moved on, and I think they're going to be a great representative out of our side of the bracket anyway. And so, difficult night for us. Good start. Not a great finish. I thought coming out in the third period, we had a good first 10 minutes, and then we took the penalty, and we couldn't find a way to get a kill. And at that point, I thought we've played good on the road pretty much throughout this season, and the push we had the third period I thought was a decent one, but we couldn't find a way, as I said, to kill the penalties. So they get to move on.
Okay, we'll now open up to questions for the student athletes. Right here.
Dan Rubin from USCHO. Charlie, the goal you had in the first period, and then the near goal down the end of the first period. Can you just talk a little bit about the offense and what was clicking for you in that first, for you in particular?
Yeah, Mark Michaelis made a great play in my first goal. He dropped it to Parker Toomey, and Toomey just got a shot on net off the pad, and I just went hard on that and buried that one. In the second one, I couldn't really see the play if it was offsides or not, but Reggie Lutz made a great feed through the middle, and I just made a quick shot, low blocker. So.
More questions? Shane, right up here.
Shane Frederick, Mankato Free Press. Max and Charlie can talk on this too. That the goal being waved off there to make it 4-1. How much do you feel like that impacted you going into the second period as a team? Was there an emotional letdown at that point at all?
Yeah, obviously. It would have been nice to have that one called a good goal. But no, I think it was just kind of right back to it. It was our mentality, not worry about what we can't control. So I think we were just trying to focus on getting back to playing the way we can.
More questions for the student athletes? All the way in the back, Maury.
For either of the guys, Maury Hirsch-Gordon, CBS Providence. It's obviously not their home rink, but they're 2-3 miles from campus. Did you feel like the crowd played a factor in any part in today's game?
Yeah, obviously they had a good representation out there. They had loud fans, but if we play our game, we should be able to block that out and just focus on us. But give them credit; they played great. Their power play was snapping it around, and unfortunately, we couldn't get the kills there.
More questions for the student athletes? Okay, thank you. Oh, do you have one more? One more, Shane.
Max, obviously this is your last game. When you're up 3-0, can you just talk about where you guys were at that point in the game too, and where you thought the game was headed at that point, feeling so good at that point of the game?
Yeah, obviously it was a good start for us. Started how we wanted to. We're never satisfied. That's kind of what we preach on the bench, and unfortunately they got one there, and in the first, and then the two power play goals in the second. Yeah, obviously we started the game exactly how we wanted to, just couldn't finish.
Okay, thank you. We'll send the student athletes back to the locker room and keep Coach Hastings here. You guys can head back.
Thanks, fellas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll now open it up to questions for Coach Hastings. Questions?
Shane Frederick, Mankato Free Press. Mike, what were they doing so well on their power play? You guys have been so good on the kill this year. What was the difference there, especially on that during that major?
I thought they made an adjustment, and we talked about they've had a tendency to look to backdoor quite often, and I just didn't think we handled that very well. One time we had a defenseman, we just didn't execute, and our weak side didn't get it covered, and I thought they did a good job of executing. Like you said, our penalty kill has been a strength of ours throughout the season, at this time, we couldn't find a way to get a kill. And like I said, I thought a good push at the beginning of the third period, but when you've got to go out and kill that, you know, I thought they smelt a little bit of blood when they scored that power play goal. And I think that's where you can get a lot of momentum when you get the next one, because they went out and they were successful at it. And they had some guys make some plays and finished.
More questions for the student athletes? Right here.
Dan Rubin from USCHO. Coach, you know, the seeding being what it is, this is the second 4 seed that's advanced in this bracket. Can you just talk a little bit about the challenges of not only just across the board, what it's like with the parity in college hockey, and that when you come in as the 1 seed and they see the 1 and 4, it sometimes doesn't always play out that way.
I think our sport's pretty unique that way. When you talk about Division I athletics, I don't think you see the parity in football and in basketball that you might see here with the 60 teams that we have. And it's at this time of the year, everybody's earned their way here. And everybody's got the same goal, and it's to extend your season. And tonight, Providence did that. And you've got to take your hats off to them. Now, that doesn't take the sting out of not being able to play on a Sunday when you were planning to. So you've got to give credit where credit's due and make sure you tip your hat to them.
Any more questions in the back?
Chris Boulay, College Hockey News. Mike, you had last time you guys were in the tournament, you had the lead and ended up weren't able to hold on like this. Do you see any similarities from how it played out last year to this time around? And also, is there anything going forward that you look at with these kind of unfortunate results and try to figure out trying to fix a single game's problem?
Yeah, I think you got to, if you look at a similarity in the 2 games, we had some opportunities against Duluth to extend a lead, hit a couple of pipes, but the one thing that I thought turned the game was a penalty. And tonight, I thought the one thing that turned the game was a penalty. So if there's one thing that I'd take from that is on myself as the coach, we're gonna manage that situation a little bit better. You ask yourself the game's difficult enough without us contributing to a club like Providence and their offense. That'd probably be the one thing that I'd say. And then the second thing is we got to find a way to push to win a game. And what we want to do right now, the only thing is we got to control is to try and get another opportunity. And so we're going to have to earn that, just like the other 15 teams did that are playing in this tournament or started in the tournament. They earned their way here, and now we've got to go back to ground zero and earn that next year.
Okay, Shane, another question?
Shane Frederick, Mankato Free Press. Mike, was there anything that surprised you about the way you guys played after being up 3-0? And just, I know you said you made a couple good pushes that you liked, but was there anything that surprised you in terms of how that game kind of tilted?
A little bit. In the second period, I thought they imposed their will on us, and we started playing passive. I thought we didn't play with the same aggressiveness, whether it was with the puck or without the puck. Not real decisive in groups of 5. I thought we started putting some guys on islands, whether that was a defenseman going back and picking a puck up, or whether that was when we moved a puck through the neutral zone to somebody on a wall and he had nobody to give it to. And we'd transition of getting the puck in the zone and they'd come and try and shove it right back down our throat. So if you're asking me if there's something, second period to me where you can look at shots and all that, but to me it's momentum, and I thought they'd gained momentum. They started playing a little bit heavier than us, I think a little braver than us, getting over pucks. But getting to the third period, I thought was a little bit of a win for us because of the way the second period was going. And again, I thought the start in the third period was what we were looking for.
Okay, it's time for one more question. If anybody's interested? Okay. Sure, Shane, one last one.
Just the goal waved off at the end of the first period. Did you look at the replay, and 2, and what did you think? And then 2, what is the where did you feel like that momentum changed for you guys? I mean, obviously it would be 3 goals going into the.
I thought they made the right call. CJ and that group, they're a veteran group. The officials did a good job tonight. They did. So, that was Minnesota State against Providence. There was nothing else that happened on in that game, and they found a way to get it done.
Okay, thank you.